Let's help make sure COVID doesn't take another mom.
Another wife.
Another papa.
Let's not lose any more favorite uncles.
Or lifelong friends. Vaccines help prevent severe illness and death from COVID.
And the broken hearts they leave behind.
We can do this. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov.
Bad. I mean, you can't even really say nothing bad.
If you're looking for an opportunity to play a vital role in the fast-growing field of healthcare, then consider earning a degree in medical assisting from Brighton Stratton College. Medical assistants are health professionals educated to perform administrative and clinical duties focused on providing quality patient care. Learn more about a medical assisting career today at BrightonStratton.edu or call 716-507-4710 with campuses in Amherst, Buffalo, and Orchard Park. Your rewarding healthcare career is waiting for you at Brighton Stratton College. For important program information, visit BrightonStratton.edu.
The Buffalo Teachers Federation is proud to support the observance of Martin Luther King Jr. on WUFO Power 96.5. Each January is a time where we reflect on the dream of Dr. King of racial equality and the work that still needs to be done. The Buffalo Teachers Federation, we touch the future we teach.
Let's get it.
From the east side to the west side, Buffalo's best blend of music. We are the legendary Mix 1080, WUFO, and Power 96.5, a blend of R&B and your favorite throwbacks.
What's good? What's good, sports world? Welcome back to the Buffalo Sports Report. I'm your host, Mookie Hawkins. On the ones and twos, Miss Anita Razor Sharp Wells. In the building, we have the Torch has just entered the booth. Andre the Torch Robinson is here, and we talking. And the Mighty Oba. We got the Mighty Oba on deck already? All right, the Mighty One. Mighty One, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm great. Thawed out, everything.
Hey, man, we were just sitting back in here and just kicking it real time down about this Boston massacre yesterday. Just care to shed some light on what were your thoughts in reference to yesterday Boston massacre?
Hey, like you said earlier, after Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas gave the charge yesterday, that cold place was on fire. And that type of energy, you could see it in this team. There was one team out there affected by the cold. There was another team on a mission. They took no prisoners yesterday. Everything worked. They had trouble with their punters, so they didn't punt. What else can you ask for? I've been critical of Brian Dable, we all have. But he called a great game yesterday. Give him credit for it. And Leslie Frazier called a great game yesterday. It was just a work of art. I enjoyed it. Hadn't been that way in a lot of years out there. And I thought they did a great job, and all those guys played at a very high level. They brought a different energy. And New England had no energy whatsoever. It was taken from them from the beginning.
Yes, sir. It was definitely taken from the beginning. I mean, you did have Mac Jones out there trying to do his best Josh Allen impersonation in that first quarter. Then he tried to do his best Dan Marino impersonation with the little fake spike. But Jerry Hughes wasn't going for none of that. So, they had their moments. They tried to pick on Levi Wallace here and there. But then again, it was that Micah Hyde interception, that ultimate game changer that, just closed the door on, New England's best drive, if you will, going into that game. That definitely could have changed the morale of that game, even though I still feel that the Bills would have pulled that off. But Micah definitely let everybody know why he's all pro, and he definitely let everybody know what a safety is all about, because that's what a safety supposed to do. All right, you supposed to, that's just what a safety is supposed to do. So just care to talk about that play that Micah Hyde did yesterday.
Well, that had to be one of the best plays I've ever seen by a defensive back in a Bills uniform, and that's what you call safety help. when your corner is in that position, he's expecting that safety to come and give him that over-the-top help. Micah Hyde got there in perfect position. That was a great, great play, game-changing play. Mm-hmm. And you have to be on your game, A game, to even make that play. A lot of safeties, they don't get there in time. Mm-hmm. But we've seen this all year from Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, really from their entire time being here. This is one of the best safety tandems in football. There's just no question about it.
Right.
And that play yesterday set a tone for the entire team. And it just seemed like they were playing with a different energy in New England. They just couldn't get it done. How many drops did we see in the first quarter?
Yeah, we saw a lot.
I mean, you can't blame all that on, Mac Jones. I mean, like you said, Mac Jones kind of, he was hitting some pretty good passes. Those guys dropped at least 5 more.
Yeah.
And they just did not have it. And I love the way Leslie Frazier would bring in A.J. Klein when New England thought they were going to, just pound the football. They've changed that up. They addressed how they've allowed teams to get some yards on them earlier. And that's what everybody was saying. You're having trouble with power running teams. The Bills have addressed that. They've done a good job. Harrison Phillips stepping up his game. Starlet Ule looked like a monster yesterday.
Yes, he did.
I mean, unbelievable game and in some very difficult playing conditions.
Yeah, because it was blustery cold out there. I can't even lie to you. But, at the end of the day, when you out there making plays and you flying around, you're not even worrying about the cold at that point. I always used to tell my kids, as long as you out there making plays, you flying around, you making tackles, you're going to be warm. But if you're standing around, not doing nothing, you're going to be cold. And guess what? Your butt going to be on the sideline with me if that happens. So, as long as they was just flying around making plays. When you look at it, they only held New England to 89 rushing yards. And, the Bills pretty much almost doubled that on their end with 174. They still was stout on third down. They held New England to 50%. That's still high. But, under the circumstance, when you got to play from behind like that, they're going to convert some third downs more than not. But once again, it was we all know that it was the best performance that the Bills has put on display this year. And hopefully they can keep this thing up. So what are your take on basically what's next for the Buffalo Bills? I mean, obviously it's either one or two teams. It's either Kansas City or Cincinnati. Which one would you rather prefer? And what do you think the Bills need to do to beat that team?
Well, of course, I'd like to see Cincinnati, only because we get another home game. And I just think the Bills at home, man, these fans are crazy, man. I mean, they were off the chain yesterday. There was enough people out there with no shirts on, just in the moment. And that's Buffalo, I mean, that's Western New York. And I'd like to see another home game. But none of these teams left. None of these teams put fear in this team. This team can beat any of the teams left. Mm-hmm. The only thing that beats the Bills is the Bills. And if you look at all their games, it's been the Bills beat the Bills. Not necessarily that team, but the Bills have beaten themselves in most of their games that they had trouble in this year. Not running the football, not having a better offensive game plan based on what some of these power teams were doing, not stopping the run. And I don't think any of these teams left can beat this team in Western New York. This team has a great, great energy that I have not seen here since the early 90s. And yesterday, we saw Josh Allen come of age.
Yes.
This is a different Josh Allen. This is not the same Josh Allen that they drafted. That guy came to play yesterday. He put the work in. Dawson Knox put the work in. And Mookie, you know that. You work with these kids during the offseason.
Yeah, they definitely put the work in, especially Dawson Knox, especially the day that he had 5 catches or 5 targets, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Oh.
You know, so, I mean, Josh Allen spreaded the ball around to 9 different receivers yesterday, and 6 of them had an average
hey,
of.
Luke, I hear music in the background.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I do. I do hear some feedback there. I don't know. That maybe that's coming from in the soundboard.
There we go.
But yeah, he hit.
Josh came of age yesterday, brother.
Absolutely.
I mean, he played well last year, but yesterday, that guy has put the work in. And we all were critical of his beginnings, and he deserved it. He was passing 58%. And yesterday though, man, he threw some passes that I've never seen people throw in that stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, that touchdown pass to Emmanuel Sanders was a work of art.
I mean, it was one pass. I think it was to Gabriel Davis where he was rolling to his left, flipped his hips, and threw it back right. And, you know, just dimed Gabriel Davis. I don't see too many quarterbacks doing it. I don't see Patrick Mahomes really doing that type of stuff. You know, Josh Allen has a big arm, and, you know, the Bills brass, I mean, you got to give those guys credit. They were dead on with this pick with Josh Allen. They knew what they were getting. They knew what they wanted. They traded up to get him, and just look at the dividends, how well this is paying off, you know, right now. I mean,
Luke, you hit it on the head earlier when we were talking. This organization, its scouting department, have done a heck of a job along with the coaching staff of developing these young players, allowing them to grow. Because so many times, the way Josh started out, man, there are teams that would have told him, see you, you're not the answer. Or the way we've seen Dwayne Haskins. You know, he hasn't had the opportunity to develop. I still believe he has all the physical tools to play in this league. But maybe he needs to work with a guy like yourself. Work on those fundamentals. Work on those things that's going to improve his game. And Josh Allen has done that. There is absolutely no question about it. Dawson Knox has done that. And the most important thing, they've been given the opportunity to develop. A lot of organizations don't do that. They hire and fire before you get a chance to become the player that you know you can become. And you got to give this organization credit, the process of allowing that process to happen. And, you know, we were all doubters in the beginning, but hey, we had a right to be. I mean, we've been losing for so many years. Why should we listen to somebody else? But this guy has come in, put together an organization that is one of the best in the NFL right now. And you got to give him credit for that.
Mighty Oba, what's going on? The fire starters in the building. You know what it is, man. You know what it is, man.
Torchbearer.
That's right. That's right. The torchbearer, the fire starter. What's going on, man? I know you enjoyed last night. It was really refreshing to see the Buffalo Bills actually put all the pieces to the puzzle together. We've watched them from year one, and yeah, we've doubted them from day one, 2018, all the way to now. You know, it was really refreshing. One of the best games that I ever seen. You know, witnessed as someone who goes to watch Buffalo Bills games, and I know it's probably one of the best that you've seen. But my question, I have an interesting question. Now, we did get to see the Bills put it all together, and the motivation behind that is obviously they want to win a Super Bowl. But I think there's another motivation, and it draws me to ask this question to you. We always talk about organizational moves, Pat. You've always been one to talk about foundation and laying the foundation. It is so super important to do it, to do that and to make the right moves. With the 2022 season coming up. I don't want to skip the Super Bowl when the Bills be dancing, with a Super Bowl ring for the first time in their franchise. But I want to ask, did yesterday's performance motivate Brian Daboll towards a head coaching job more, or did it motivate Leslie Frazier more to a head coaching job? Because I know we were very skeptical of Brian's play calling during the years. Seeing this now, obviously, you can't go back to mediocrity. Does this actually propel one of these two to a head coaching job, or do you think this was motivated on just sheer let's get to the dance?
Yeah, I think they were both in the position that they're in. The Dolphins flew them out today to interview for the head coaching job, and both of them could be gone. But that's the nature of the league. You always have a plan B. Just like they have a plan B for the Super Bowl. If things don't work out in California, they're going to be in Jerry's world. I mean, that's the way the league works. And good organizations do that. And I'm sure McDermott probably already has in the back of his mind two coordinators that will replace these two, because I think there's a very good chance them could be gone. They both have good relationships throughout the NFL, and more so than anything else. If you look at both of their resumes, Leslie Frazier and Brian Daboll come out of some pretty strong trees. Leslie Frazier was Bears, coached with the Philadelphia Eagles. He comes under the Andy Reid tree somewhat. And Brian Daboll has coached under some great coaches. Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, you can just go down the list. So they have some very good relationships throughout the NFL, and they've also performed at a pretty respectable level. I mean, that's what we do. We criticize our coaches when our teams don't perform well, but others around the league don't highly scrutinize these guys as close as we do on a daily basis. So Brian Daboll, you look on paper, you say he's been a pretty good offensive coordinator. He's helped to develop a Josh Allen who had a very bad quarterback rating when he started to now is a top 5 quarterback in the league. So some of that credit goes to Brian Daboll, along with Josh Allen, for his diligence and his work and preparation, no doubt about it. But I think those two, McDermott will be well prepared to replace both of them. And I think he'll move very, very quickly because some of their assistants could be coordinators' choices for them, if you know what I mean. You could see Dorsey. If Brian Daboll gets hired, who else would you want? You want guys that know your system. So look for him to take some of the position coaches that are there with him. And the only way you do that is to give them advancement as coordinators. Same thing with Leslie Frazier. There was a rumor that Leslie is the lead candidate with the Chicago Bears, and he's going to take Dorsey with him to be his offense coordinator. So I'm sure McDermott hears the same rumors we do, and his preparation, this guy is probably light years ahead of everything. I mean, he probably already planned if they didn't win the game, lock the clean up, let's get ready for the draft. That's what they do. Yeah. It never stops. And the good organizations operate like that. So there's going to be change. There was a lot of change in the early 90s when the Bills started winning. That's part of it.
You don't want it?
Yeah, we still on pot. We still on pot. We just got some cross feed.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah, we just got a cross feed from another caller. Continue on.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. But I think, Firestarter, I think this organization is well prepared when you've won 4 out of 5 years, I think you were expecting eventually other organizations are going to start rating your talent pool.
There you have it, man. The mighty Oba preaching, giving us the great Sunday gospel on this Boston massacre, and giving us some great insight on what's next for our 2 coordinators. So I think personally Dorsey's not going to go anywhere. They're going to lock him down and bid those 2 guys farewell. I mean, it's just their time. I mean, last year they were hot coordinators that and they didn't get a position. This year it's just time for them to go. It's time for them to it's just time for them to go. It's just their time. I mean, they've been too consistent. Right. The Bills are one of the top teams in offense and defense. How do you not want that for your organization? So, can't be mad at those guys leaving. It's just well deserved on the work that they put in here and how they develop. It's just that, like you said, Oba, who are they going to take with them, and who is Coach McDermott is going to allow them to take? So hey, Oba, we wish you the best. We got another caller on, and we definitely going to chop it up, all through this week, because we don't know who the Bills' next opponent is going to be. So I'm quite sure me, you, George, and the Torch here are going to kick it about that all this week long. So appreciate having you.
All right. Hey, I look forward to it. And in closing, I want both of y'all to know, and all of you, how proud I am of Coach Mookie Hawkins and the fire starter. Coach Mookie Hawkins, especially, you bring a new flavor to covering the Buffalo Bills, and people better just get used to that new flavor. Didn't Craig Mack make that song years ago?
Yeah, they better get that flavor in that ear. They better get used to it. We're gonna talk about that a little bit too. But maybe you might have to call back, because we might have to talk about why a journalist can't be a fan or something like that. We might have to talk about that a little bit. So I'll text you and let you know. You can hit me back in a few minutes.
Coach,
mighty one.
Coach,
are you in the house, brother? New flavor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We appreciate you having on.
All right, take care now.
I can't get it out fast enough. Shout out to the mighty Oba. I can't get it out fast enough. Coach, are you fire starting?
Yeah, I'm fire starting. I've been fire starting for the past couple of days. I've been fire starting. And if anybody been paying attention on Twitter, they can see what's going on out here. You know what I mean? It's some blatant hating going on out here.
Boston
and I'm not going to close my mouth about it, because I'm sick of it. Right. You know what I mean? I already feel that I'm the black sheep. Let's just keep everything a buck around here. You know what I mean? It is what it is, but I'm not going to stop being me at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we do got another caller on. All right, caller, you are live. Welcome to the Wufo Sports Report. State your case.
Hey, what's going on, Coach Move? Torch Robinson, what's going on? Akeem Richards, Built in Buffalo.
Built in Buffalo is in the building. What's up, my guy?
Oh man, first of all, I'm basking in ambiance of the victory, and I'm enjoying listening to you gentlemen. Y'all doing a great job. I hope you keep up the great work, like I know you will. I appreciate being on this call with you gentlemen right now.
Hey man, let me just give you a heads up, man. Hey, job well done on that Devin Singletary as the X Factor, yesterday, because he did his thing. Mighty Mouse was definitely to the rescue yesterday. So just give us your overall take on yesterday's Boston Massacre.
It was great to see, man. It was great to see. It was the official changing of the guard in the AFC East. All these years we had to endure the Buffalo Bills losing to the Patriots every year, and this is the year where, even though we lost the game against New England earlier in the year, this was the year the Buffalo Bills came back. They beat the New England Patriots handsomely before the season. And this game last night, the wild card game in front of all the fans at Highmark Stadium, not only did the Buffalo Bills beat the New England Patriots, it was an official stamp of the changing of the guard in the AFC East, man. It was delightful to see.
Absolutely, definitely delightful. Just care to talk about, Josh Allen's performance. Now, he hit 9 different receivers, and he hit 6 of them for double-digit yards. Dawson Knox, 18 yards per carry. Stephon Diggs, 20 yards per catch. Isaiah McKenzie, 15 yards per catch. Gabriel Davis, 21 yards per catch. Emmanuel Sanders, 18 yards per catch. And Cole Beasley, 19 yards per catch. We're talking chunk after chunk after chunk after chunk. Josh Allen was Dr. Josh yesterday. Surgery with a chainsaw. Once again, Josh Allen let everybody know why he is considered to be the MVP of the league. So just care to talk about, Josh Allen's performance in this playoffs versus New England, because it never has happened to a guy like Bill Belichick in that fashion.
Absolutely masterful. It was a masterful performance that we've seen on display from Josh Allen last night. 21-25, 84% completion percentage, over 300 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, another 66 yards rushing on 6 attempts. You see the Buffalo Bills taking the win, taking the soul out the New England Patriots. You see the New England Patriots defenders look in disarray. They didn't have any answer for Josh Allen last night, and to take it a step further, which was even greater to see, the greatest head coach of all time, Bill Belichick, had no answer for Josh Allen last night. And it was just a tremendous feat for the Buffalo Bills, tremendous for Josh Allen, scoring a touchdown every possession, all 7 possessions. The best offensive output in NFL history belongs to Josh Allen and our Buffalo Bills. Think about how crazy that is to say, right? The best offensive performance in NFL history belongs to Josh Allen, and it was Josh Allen at his finest hour. We thought the last game against the Patriots was his best game. Well, he just one-upped it last night in the biggest stage, and that's the playoffs.
No doubt, man. We're talking 82% completion percentage, and on third down, the Bills was 86%. That's virtually flawless. So, we got the torch up here in the building. You know what I mean? And I'm quite sure he got some things he want to fire start with you.
Of course.
Hey, Rich, what's going on, my guy? We talk a lot. We talk a lot about these Bills, man, and Mookie. Mookie Hogg is the coach. You and Mookie have said pretty much what needed to be said about this game. So, just right now, Razor Sharp. What's going on, Razor Sharp? Shout out to you and Bills Mafia that's tuned in. I just want you to bow your heads for a second. Just bow your heads, and dearly beloved, I just want to say we were so thankful to witness the dirt nap that the New England Patriots took last night. As like you said, the changing of the guard happened. The beast of the East truly showed his true face last night as Dr. Allen surgically removed all doubts about who the real beast of the East is. And with that being said, we are like Jay-Z on to the next one, moving to the next playoff game so we could see them surgically remove more doubts for the naysayers that have an issue with the Buffalo Bills and what they've done this year. Now, and the mighty name, because we always on a high mark. Amen. Now, with that being said, hey Rich, I just want to put this out there as we rest in power right now, as the Patriots rest in whatever mediocrity they put up last night. It's interesting to see that they put it all together. Now, I asked the Mighty Oba this question, and I'm going to kind of ask you. I'm going to fall back on this question, too. Last night's, performance, do you think, who did it catapult more for a head coaching job, in your opinion? I'm just wondering, as we talk organizational moves, I got to ask you.
And that's an excellent question. And my answer is Brian Dable. Brian moved the ball. Is the answer for that question, because what he did last night was amazing. Not only did he score on every offensive possession, it was the way he did it. We was worried about how he would implement Gabriel Davis now that Emmanuel Sanders is back in the fold. We was worried how Isaiah McKenzie will be implemented now that Cole Beasley is in the fold. We was worried if Devin Singletary would continue to get the consistent touches he got before the last 4 games of the season. And Brian Dable put all those things to bed. He did a masterful job maximizing all the skill position players. He used Isaiah McKenzie the way he was supposed to be used all season long, but better late than never, right? He was used out the slot, and he was used coming out the backfield as a weapon. Not only that, the RPO game was amazing. The motion game with the receivers was an integral part of the Bills' offense, because what does that do? It gives a guy like a speedy guy like Isaiah McKenzie a head start against a stationary defense. And it also gives Josh Allen the opportunity to recognize early what type of defense New England Patriots are in, right? Mm-hmm. So when a guy goes in motion, if Isaiah McKenzie goes in motion and the cornerback follows, what defense are they in? 9 times out of 10, they're going to be in a man defense. If Isaiah McKenzie goes in motion and the corner doesn't follow, 9 times out of 10, the New England Patriots are going to be in a zone defense. So Josh Allen was able to recognize the defensive coverages based on the motion utilization from Brian Dable and that coaching staff. So what he was able to muster up throughout the course of the game was amazing. In my opinion, he catapulted himself in a prime position to be a head coach.
I like the answer, especially for the simple fact that we watched 2 things historically happen. Number one, the first time ever that a team has, scored on all 7 touchdowns, no field goals, no punts, and no turnovers. That's the first thing. And that does belong to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. That's a great thing to say. But there's also something else that belongs to the Buffalo Bills. And I like to look up stats and analytically bring out some statful truth. I call it statful truth, okay? This is the first time that the Bill Belichick opponent, who has played them twice, has not had to punt against him back-to-back.
Yeah.
For the first time. Back-to-back. Drake, back-to-back. They didn't punt.
Well, that's just letting them know that, in the words of Rex Ryan, we're not here to kiss your rings.
Right. We ain't here.
It was just the wrong guy saying it. You know what I mean? It was just the wrong guy saying it. That's all it was. Rex Ryan was ahead of his time with that quote. He should have saved it for Coach McDermott, because the New England Patriots do not strike fear in the Buffalo Bills, okay? All right? They do not strike fear in the Buffalo Bills. And we found out what was Coach Belichick's New Year's resolution. Belichick's New Year's resolution is that he doesn't want to see Josh Allen no time soon. All right. And with that being said, we're going to cut into a break. But when we do come back, we're going to give you something that I'm smelling. I ain't going to get into just yet, but I'm going to talk about it when we come back. So keep it locked. You're tuned into the legendary WFO 1080 AM on Power 96.5. WFO Sports Report. We'll be right back.
From the east side to the west side, Buffalo's best blend of music. We are the legendary.
For all those that's watching out there right now,
UFO and Power 96.5.
Share, like and share the show. You're going to share this because is it me? Or was we right about the San Francisco 49ers? Was we right about them? Call your mans up, by the way. Call him up. I forgot about the bet. Call him up. Tell him he's about to be on some push-ups online. Or Marcus? Not Marcus. No. Young boy. The one that
young buck.
Yeah. He got on Rufus Buck.
And the pizza.
Yeah, right. Rufus Buck. He's about to come on with my pizza, man. Your boys get smoked right now. I just watched them score another touchdown.
It's 23-7.
Yes, it is. No, 23-7.
It's 23-7.
Ooh, late in the third.
Marcus.
Dak look hurt too. Marcus Betts, front and center.
Oh, it's so great when you can beat up on the New England Patriots and the Dallas Cowboys is losing at the same token.
Marcus Betts.
Yeah.
I think they need to call you. You need to get out there and do
All
something.
that, putting up 50 points. You know, I love national media. I love you guys, man, because y'all just thought that the Cowboys is just, they're playing at a high level and they're putting up all these points. Yeah, they're doing it against Washington and the Giants.
Just one day with us by calling.
They ain't put up 50 against New England.
Roswell, or visit justonedaywithus.org.
And that's all I'm saying. You know, we're putting up 50 pieces. We've been putting up points with inconsistencies on offense, but you know, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in on Twitter right now. You know what I mean? I appreciate all the love and support, man. You know, with everything's going on, I know y'all reading everything and all that stuff. But you know, we're gonna say that journalists being a fan, maybe tomorrow we'll talk about it. But right now,
I can't wait to get into that.
There's too much juicy stuff happening this last 10 to 15 minutes we gotta talk about.
Hey,
Boston Massacre, baby. Make sure you be on the lookout for that article first thing in the morning, all right? Because I do write. Okay, if you didn't know,
They leave behind.
Stop being haters.
We can do this.
It's not good to hate.
it's all right. It was all right though. You know, I had a blast.
You smell it. You smell it. You smell it.
Yeah, I smell it. I've been smelling it. I've been smelling it since the first quarter.
Smell it. Smell it.
Ooh-wee.
Boy, oh boy.
NFC.
Matter of fact, let me my inbox Marcus right now.
I ain't trying to talk.
Call an Amber Alert for this guy.
From Bay Area to Maine and Michigan, from the east side to the west side.
Reminisce.
We are the
Scotty, what's good?
UFO and Power 96.5. Power965radio.com. A blend of R&B with your favorite throwbacks.
Yeah. You know, that was like one of my favorite tracks, you know, as a kid. When they reminisce over you. Who's reminiscing over the New England Patriots right now? My man Breeder, you know, he's silly too. Breeder went out and said he is smoking on that New England pack. Shout out to my boy Matthew Breeder with that. If y'all don't know what that means, hey, you better look that one up in the dictionary. I cannot tell you. If you don't know, hey, I guess it's not for you to know. But let me get to what I was smelling before we went over the break, though. I'm smelling upset there, Dre. It's an upset smell. It's an upset brew. You want to talk about this upset, Dre? What you smelling? It don't smell good neither. I can tell you that.
Yeah, let's bring it up. Shout out to my guy, the Alphabets. You know, no initials needed, but Marcus Betts. Sir, your team, what's going on here? San Francisco 49ers, 23-7 right now.
You have the ball. Dallas, you have the ball.
It's getting late. It's getting kind of. Yeah, you know we got the power right over here, man. We got the power over here, but it's getting kind of hectic over there. You know, they need to be like Anita, be more razor sharp, David, more razor sharp, because right now it's not looking good for them at all.
23-7. What happened to all these points they was putting up a week ago? It was all good just a week ago, huh?
So they're
down.
So they're legitimately down by 2 scores. They need 8 points each possession to actually tie this game up. And it's about to go into the fourth quarter. Dallas is on their own 30. Mookie, what is the probability of Dallas actually coming back and winning this game?
They're not coming back to win this game. Ain't no probability. The probability I say is 2%. 2%. They're not coming back. Let's not forget that the San Francisco 49ers was just in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. All right, let's not forget that. And, you know, to me, they're a little bit more seasoned. They're a little bit more experienced. They got a little bit more better weaponry. Debo is basically what he is, Debo and the Dallas Cowboys. All right, they don't have an answer for that. And boy, oh boy, I wish I was in Dallas, because my man Clarence Hill is going to probably see those tears in Jerry Jones' eyes again. You know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Chill. You know what I mean? If you tune in to listen, I know he's not tuning in. He's at the game, man, trying to figure this out. So if you want to listen to somebody when reference to post game with Dallas, make sure y'all hit my boy Clarence Hill up, a.k.a. Mr. Chill. And I'm telling you, you're going to get some great content tonight from that guy. Because if the Dallas Cowboys get knocked off, what do you do with Ezekiel Elliott? Is it time to rebuild and restructure? Is it time to clean house in Dallas? Is it time to clean house in Dallas if Dallas get knocked off, Marcus Betts?
My question is, now I want a fire start too. Was it Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay or was it Mike McCarthy?
Oh, yeah.
Questions like that start to come out. Oh boy. By the way, I just want to put this out there that they are on their way to punting the football again because it's 3rd and 25.
3rd and 25. All right. So, okay, we already know that's brewing up. So, tonight's game, Kansas City and the Steelers. Hey, I think another upset could be in the works here. I think the Steelers match up defensively. What Kansas City have to bring to the table offensively. The key matchups to that game is Mika Fitzpatrick versus Travis Kelce. Long as he be up front, playing physical, don't give Travis Kelce any type of free releases, and everybody else play man up. TJ Watt is going to be wreaking havoc out there. They're going to have a chance. Ben Roethlisberger is a seasoned vet, Super Bowl champion. He's not going to go out there and make mistakes. Juju Smith-Schuster will be playing in this game. Deontay Johnson will be playing in this game. Clay Claypool, Freiermuth, and Najee Harris. So Pittsburgh definitely have the match to go toe-to-toe with these guys. And they definitely have one of the hottest and best coaches in the game. So this is going to be another matchup. And I say this right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers definitely had a recipe to pull this off. And I'm just going to go out and say it. Pittsburgh Steelers win this one 26-24. On a late field goal, Pittsburgh Steelers knock off Kansas City. 2 upset specials going on tonight. All right. So there you have it. I like to send a special shout outs to my man Torch in the building, Anita Razor Sharp. Be on the lookout. Access to Africa is coming up next. And don't forget, tomorrow is that special day. Happy birthday to the man himself, the legendary Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. All right, like I said before, I would not be in this position if it wasn't for that man. Well, a lot of us wouldn't be in the position that we are in right now. We wouldn't have the first African-American woman CEO of a radio station if it wasn't for Dr. Martin Luther King. So with that being said, everybody, stay safe, be healthy, wash your hands, and go Bills, baby.
You've got it. That's the WUFO Sports Report. Catch us weeknights, Monday and Wednesday at 10 p.m. or Sunday at 6 p.m. on the Legend.
Ooh-wee.
That easy.
Ooh-wee. Ooh, see, that's why I wanted to be on the show yesterday. I wanted to be on Marcus' show yesterday so I could hear what he had to say. Because what do you got to say right now? Y'all got 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Dallas Cowboys. And it's off while y'all going fishing. Cowboys about to go fishing.
Want to take a dirt nap.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all once again on Twitter, man. Hey, we're going to be doing Twitter Spaces. We got Twitter Spaces coming up this week with Bills World, Fan Base Weekly. All right, so be on the lookout for those. We got Fan Base Weekly and Bills World Twitter Spaces. We're going to be sending you the menu on where you can be locked in and tune into that. It's going to be great content. I get the opportunity to talk to the Bills coaches tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'm quite sure y'all can't wait for that because guess what? I cannot wait. Me and Coach Dabo is going to have a real heart-to-heart tomorrow, all right? So with that being said, I appreciate the love. Stay supporting me, man, and I'm going to keep giving you nothing but the best content and questions I could possibly think of, all right? So deuces. Enjoy Sunday Night Football, y'all.
Shout out to my guy, Timothy Lewis, as well. Shout out to Timothy Lewis Jr. Thank you very much for yesterday. Phenomenal. I appreciate you, bro. And we out because I got to call Marcus Betts. You can get an Amber Alert on him right now. The Bills. Oh, wait a minute.
Suicide watch.
Yeah, suicide watch for him right now. The Bills were close to perfect. as possible besides the fluke bass mishap. Yeah.
He was blocked. He got 2 blocked. They got their hands on
2 blocked. Yeah. Other than that,
yeah, with the 49. 49. I thought the Bills was gonna go for 2.